Hey guys, this is Jake with P3. In this video, we're going to show you how to install your multi-gauge in your 2008 to 2014 Impreza. This works on all of them, the STIs, WRXs, just regular Imprezas. So we'll be good to go. We can get started. And the first thing we want to do is go ahead and test the gauge. So we're going to go ahead, we got it all here. We've got our display, we've got our OBD2 harness, and we've got our control box. And we'll just go ahead and plug the display into the control box. And then we want to plug the OBD2 harness into the other end of the control box. You don't need to tighten these yet because we're just testing. So the OBD2 port is pretty much directly under the steering wheel. We'll go ahead and plug that in. Like that. And then the gauge is not going to turn on until we start the engine. So we'll go ahead and start the engine. Just make sure the gauge comes on. Should come on within a second or two. We just want to make sure that when we press buttons, it's responding accordingly and giving us information. Looks like this one's good, so we'll go ahead and get started on that. Go ahead and unplug the OBD2 harness and then take everything back apart. So we'll disconnect our display. We'll disconnect the OBD2 port and set that aside. First thing we want to do is we want the steering wheel to come all the way towards us and all the way down. That's going to give us plenty of room to pull this cluster trim off. There are no fasteners holding this on, it's just snaps. So you got to grasp this pretty firmly, pull it toward yourself, and then it can roll forward. So I'm going to have to wiggle it around a little bit, just like so. You will want to be careful down here that you don't put any pressure on your odometer button there in the cluster. But other than that, you should be good, and it can roll out like that. The only tools you're going to need are just a Phillips screwdriver, a little drill like this, and then a pry tool. So we'll come up to this outside part. We're going to take the side trim off of the dash. It's just got snaps. Just go ahead and snap it off like so and set that to the side. And then the only screw we need to take out is this guy right here, and it's holding the trim in front of your vent on. So go ahead and take that out. Set that to the side as well. Okay, now that we have this screw out, we just have two clips on this side. They're pretty strong, so you'll have to wiggle it around, and it should come out like that. Okay, so now we have our vent, and then we have our trim, and we have to take the trim off to transfer it over to our new vent. So pull these two pry tabs up on top, and it just rolls right off. Now we have our two vents side by side. That's your factory one, and this is a factory vent from Subaru with our multi-gauge display. So we'll come over here, and we're just going to do our bottom tabs first. Set those in place, and then the top ones will roll just in and snap right into place. Now we want to feed our display cable through here and out the side first, and we'll gently pull that through. Just pull your slack out as your vent's going into place, and you just want to make sure it's not twisted up, which this one's good. And then we're just going to slide this right back into place, just like the old one came out. It'll snap right into place like so. Okay, so now we can put our screw back in. And then we can come over and get our wiring in our control box. And you can tuck these in here however you'd like. Just for the sake of keeping this video short, I'm just going to bunch them together. But you just want to plug your display cable back in. And then you can go ahead and drop this down. It'll make it a little easier to drop this down first. And get that underneath. Go ahead and plug in your OBD2 cable. Tighten those up. We'll just bunch this up and tuck it back up inside. And then we'll replug our OBD2 connector. Now we're ready to put our side trim back on. And you just need to take this edge and tuck it underneath the trim first, and then it just rolls into place and snaps in like that. Then we can put our cluster trim back into place. And again, you just kind of line this up. Be sure you're not pushing up on that odometer button down there. And it just firmly snaps back into place. Put our steering wheel back into place. And then we'll go ahead and start this up. Make sure everything's good. Same as before, we just want to make sure it comes on within a second or two. Make sure it's responding to inputs. Make sure the buttons work. And it looks like we're good. That's it for this install. If you guys have any questions, please let us know below. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and check us out at p3gauges.com. Thanks, guys.